I don't know what Kishimoto been on, but I promise you this man's on a Golden State Warrior spree. This man has been giving out some of the best fights, clean drip, good character development, and just straight aura farming moments. I knew the moment I saw this panel, I had to talk about this chapter. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into it. This chapter starts off with a flashback between Kawaki and Boruto, as Boruto tells him that not only there was a mission, but Kawaki needs to go protect the others as soon as he gets his limiters removed and let him fight Jura. And which, to be honest, we know Jura was going to give this man belt to ass treatment, father or son type style, you feel me? And then Boruto passed Kawaki a symbol, which is how he used the flying Raijin technique in a long distance. He just needs some time in order for him to actually use it in the first place, in which Kawaki's objective goal is to stall time for Boruto by fighting Jura, in which I ain't gonna lie, this man's ready too. This man pulled out the Karma Mark and the Black Rod, everything. This man diving deep down like he Broly. The fight starts off with Jura shooting a tail beast bomb, a man going 0 for 15 like Westbrook. Kawaki go ahead and use that Karma to absorb that motherfucker. That shit was light work, free eats. Boruto just sitting there with pom-poms in the background just cheering Kawaki on. This man Kawaki noticed that Jura disappeared before this man Jura tried to blitz him from behind. This man stuck in motion. Once Kawaki looked back, this man Jura thought that he had him until this man Kawaki disappeared too, like they fight and release Day Spark and Zero. Only for Kawaki to go ahead and summon them cubes and this man Boruto tried to dip out so he don't end up looking like Sasuke, while Jura go ahead and blast one of them motherfuckers off. While Boruto just chilling in the sky trying to see what the fuck going on, this man Jura just in the middle of the cubes trying to figure out where this man Kawaki at. Only for Kawaki to speed blitz this man with a fat ass arm, only to slash him from the back. Pause, no diddy. Since this man Jura flying, only hear from get right back into action. Kawaki got ready with the rod. This man is truly Ishiki's vessel. Kawaki missed the first 2 shots before getting blocked by the middle finger, and then they continued to go right back in action. Kawaki got this man staggering like he playing Final Fantasy before finally impaling this nigga through the stomach. This man Jura looked surprised that he actually managed to land a hit. And not only that he impaled his stomach, he actually blew some of that shit right off, with this man Jura just sitting there dumbfounded like he could actually have some power for real. And Kawaki's inner demon must be Vegeta, because this man got one lucky hit and don't know how to start rap attacking the same moves until he hit him with a final Xenoverse 2 ass finisher, just slashing Jura away. Jura go ahead and get sent all the way right back as this man Boruto trying to grip on his arm like he trigger happy, telling Momoshiki to calm down. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna need Boruto to crash out at some point. He needs to unlock Momoshiki and just let all hell break loose. Unfortunately, he's managed to control it, so sucks to be Boruto. Then Kawaki stay on the ground with a pole on his back trying to get some of that aura moment. I ain't gonna lie, this man Kawaki been mean mugging since he even got into this fight in the first place. This man has had all type of confidence, which I ain't gonna lie, if I was Kawaki, I would be the same way. And then it goes right back to Sumire and Amada when they were actually watching the fight instead of, participating, because that they would get one tapped with ease. Sumire sitting there astonished that Kawaki's actually putting some work on Jura. He might actually beat him. And then Amado shut that down, said no, as this man Jura pulls out a fucking book, which truthfully is not more disrespectful than Sasuke kicking the shit out of B's chest only for him to pull out a book, but it's definitely up there in terms of disrespect. And then he was writing down the names of people who he actually fought, admiring the fact that Kawaki was actually getting stronger than previously. And this man Kawaki just sitting there in silence, just listening to this man blabbering on. Like, what is this man yapping about? He even bringing up side characters like Ino for his sacrifice when he had to go save Himawari. And even Sumire sitting there astonished at the fact that Sarada was actually putting in work too, unlike her bum ass. Then he finally come up to his 2-brain conclusion that everybody is getting some anime friendship as powered up to actually come in clutch with these fights. As he gets closer while Jura continues talking, saying that it's a notable weakness, but on the other hand, it's actually coming in clutch for y'all bum ass humans. And before he even asks what he thinks about that opinion, this man Kawaki puts his hand up, say you talk a lot for a pest, before blowing this nigga off. No diddy. And which truthfully, we all know that Kawaki did not kill this man, but hey, it was a cool moment. I'll give him that. That's +5 aura. Plus 200 if he actually did some damage, which he didn't, by the way, as he clearly sees Kawaki just standing there in the smoke before Jura pull out some long ass tree branches, only for this man Jura regrow his Rinnegan back as he proceeds to say that he wants to talk to Kawaki. In the next panel, he sits there for the aura farming points, just saying that he never expected him to come out of Boruto's rescue. Basically, he had to clutch up to save Boruto bum ass, saying that the only thing that he wants to protect is Naruto. And then which another conclusion that he came up to when he read about the books in Konoha, he thought that Naruto was dead, but it turns out he actually knows that Naruto is still alive, and thanks to Kawaki's mean mugging ass expressions, it was basically a dead giveaway. But he realized that he shared a deep bond with many of the tailed beasts. Maybe that's where he can find his true source of love, and he can't help to think but to actually devour Naruto to see if he could finally come to his answer. And then before Kawaki end up having a Broly crash out moment, Boruto finally comes into play, preventing Kawaki from dying 200 chapters earlier than what he should be, letting him know that the Flying Raijin technique is on the go and they're ready to leave. In which, unfortunately, the fight will have to end here as Jura says that he's ready to depart. But before they even bother to depart in the first place, Kawaki has to get his last words out on some petty shit, talking about some I don't give two shits about love, but he will give Jura's credit on his intuition and instincts for about Naruto Uzumaki. And then his last two phrases, that you will die by my hand, I swear on it. Which I ain't gonna lie, Kawaki better keep his promise, because if he don't, that's gonna make him look ass. I'm not gonna hold you. And with Jura just sits there, blank stare, knowing damn well that Kawaki ain't finna put in no type of work. And then for Jura's last words, he says that I'm glad that they got to talk, let's meet again, before Kawaki turns around and flips this man off. That is top 2 panels of the Boruto Blue Vortex. What's the first one? Hey, look, it's between Boruto stepping on this nigga code or Sarada awakening that Mangekyo. I don't know what to tell you. And then it goes right back to Delta and the others as we see Sarada unconscious while Konohamaru and Misaki just waiting for these niggas to teleport. Delta tell this man you better step back before you get stepped on. A second later, literally happens, this man getting stepped on by Kawaki. This man Kawaki is really just trying to aura farm for the fuck of it now, because he just been stepping on Jura ever since and don't know how to act. Before Boruto asking Konohamaru if he got the thorn bulb, in which gladly they do as they proceed to go right back to Konoha. And then on the next panel, it goes right back to Kashin Koji and Ada, in which Kashin Koji is very surprised that they even made it out alive, which truthfully he thinks they shouldn't be. Ada is surprised that they made it out in one go, which gladly nobody got packed up in the process except for that sand ninja. I'm sorry to tell you, but that was just her fate. But the little frog on her shoulder tells Ada that the next target from Mamushi is actually Ada herself, which you know what that means. That means either Ada is gonna put the beaters on them or Daimon's gonna put the beaters on him, in which I want to see Daimon fight so we can actually see how his ability is going to either get countered or how is it going to work. But regardless of that, Daimon's still top 2 strongest in the verse. There's no argument about that. And then it goes right back to the Divine Trees where Hidari and Jura are just sitting in their little lair. Hidari questioning him about his expression, if he's feeling unwell or something, which in Jura's answer, he's actually feeling pretty good, feeling pretty excited at the fact that Kawaki gave this man a compliment. And honestly, they probably lack the emotion to know what's an insult and what's a compliment anyway, so let them rock with it. For the final moments of the chapter, Hidari tells Jura that he found a new term that he's been studying so far. And as Jura questioned him, his last words is totally ick. As the chapter ends off with Jura giving this man a blank stare, like this nigga said some dumb shit. But that'll be the end of chapter 24. If y'all liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. That's really it. I don't really care for anything else. And without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and see y'all. I got another video that I'm planning to make anyway, so I'll see y'all the next time. Peace.